November 9th, 2022. Loddy and Mac, Sports on the Sack, LODMAC_Yanks. Get on that Twitter, getting some action. It's getting heavy. We're getting some comments on YouTube. Joined, as always, by Loddy himself.
Loddy.
How you doing, Loddy?
Bobby Mack, good evening.
Oh,
Thanks for having me.
good mood tonight. What's so
The Knicks
special
won
about
last
tonight?
night?
Knicks win?
Knicks won the other night, and they're playing the Nets tonight.
So they win tonight, too?
Another W. Automatic.
Break up the Knicks.
Angry Jay with a smile on his face. Angry Jay, did Eastern Connecticut win their opener? You look pretty happy.
No, we did not win our opener.
Oh, no. Wow. I thought you would have won with that happy look on your face.
I could change it for you.
Oh,
if you'd
boy.
like.
No, boy.
No, Jesus.
Doesn't take much. And the commish is here.
How you doing?
How you doing, commish?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
A little bit of baseball. We're going to start with commish, right up your alley.
Yeah?
I mentioned the commish, applied for the commish job.
No, it's the first time I heard
I think
that
that's
one.
7 weeks in a row.
Cal Ripken.
I actually was going to look for the letter tonight.
Oh, you got to bring it
It's
to the studio. When we go
we had a
live,
flood in the basement, so I can't find it anywhere.
when we go live on camera, we got to have that letter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put it up on Twitter.
I don't know if our fans are ready for us to go live on camera, though.
No, that'd be pretty ugly. But, guys, World Series. Sadly, I think we all stayed hot with the predictions. I know I stayed very hot. I said Phillies. I mean, I was pretty hot.
I said Phillies, too.
I had Phils in 6.
I took
admit.
Phils, but I was just rooting for them. I can't root
think
for the
so.
Astros.
I think
so
that's what it was with
kinda-
all of us.
You know what? As soon as we said, man, Philly can hit, they get no hit.
They look like the Yanks.
That's staying hot,
That's
right?
staying hot. It is.
We
You
legit
can't
stayed
get much
hot.
hotter than that.
No, that was like boiling.
Boiling hot, yes.
Is it because I have a man
Lava.
crush on Harper and I just really wish we had him? Is that what it is?
Could
Nah,
be.
it's just the anti-Houston sentiment, I think. We were just
Yeah.
pulling for Houston. They're up 2-1. You had game, 4 and 5 in your own home park. You laid a couple eggs, and series was over when it went back to Houston 3-2.
All right, what's this show based on? This show's based on a Yank. But, fans, we've heard you. It's too much. But it ain't over yet. You know who said that, right? It ain't over till it's over. Who said that, guys?
One Lawrence
Yogi.
Peter Berra.
That's right. What number, Lottie?
Number 8.
Retired. Monument Park.
2 number 8's retired.
Okay, so the press conference when Cashman said it's about the process, not the results, and I think that sums us up. It's not about the results. What do you guys think about that?
I don't even think they should have an end of the year press conference at this point because they say the same stuff year after year after year, and it kind of insults the fans, like you said, Bobby Mack. It's the process, not the results from the analytics team. What other organization in GM talks that way? Hal's counting his money. Yes, ratings were high this year. They got 5 home games in the playoffs where they sold out. More than 3 million people in the stands during the regular season. And we can say the same stuff every week. But the more I hear from those guys, the less I'm going to watch. I'm done with those 2 guys.
I listened to about 30 to 45 seconds of it, and then I had to turn it off. I mean, as soon as the verbal diarrhea started coming out of Cashman's mouth, like I can't take I just can't listen to the guy. It's just garbage after garbage. I think they're already thrown out we can't re-sign Judge thing already. They have the card out there that it's going to cost so much that be prepared not to have him signed. And that this budget they have is comical because, I mean, the Mets don't have any problem with it now. The Dodgers don't have a problem with their $265 million budget.
They
So
want to add
we're-
Judge.
Yeah, we're bridesmaids, and Cashman and the other clown they're okay with it.
I like what the commish said last week. We're the consumers, right? The commish, the fans.
Customers, yeah.
Well, why would we buy that product right now? What they're selling us? Like, we're intelligent fans. And for Boone to say, I like IKF, he did a good job at shortstop. Like, what are you looking at? You're from a baseball family. Donaldson
Doesn't look like he's going anywhere, Lottie.
Donaldson's coming back. We expect big things from him. Like what? He was the worst everyday player in baseball last year. Stop.
Well, he's got to get better.
Just stop insulting
That's
us,
true.
though. Just shut your mouth get the team better in the off season, and we'll follow you in spring training. This off season stuff is ridiculous at this point.
The
for
more
me.
you listen to it, the less confident you
Yeah.
are the judge is
Yeah.
going to come back to. I mean, he's got Giants written all over.
Do you
him.
blame him though?
No, I don't.
It's about the results. It's not about the results. It's about the process. So does that mean if you try to win, it's good enough? The Yankees for years said if they don't win the championship, it's a failure. A failure.
Hey, Mac,
If you tried, it's okay.
I'm a hard worker. I mean, I'll go through the process. You pay me a few $1 million a year, and I could hit, over 30. And then you guys could say I play a great third base.
Yeah, Cash is already blaming the injuries. He likes Boone's in-game process. Did he watch the playoffs and the use of the bullpen? Just enough with these clowns. Enough.
One last thing about Boone, and then we could kind of move on and get past baseball for a minute. But Boone said one of the things he was kind of belittling a reporter, saying, "Well, I'd have to pull you aside to tell you, but like the balls he gets to versus his peers, and then like the transfers." Is he talking about fielding a routine ground ball and transferring it from the glove to the throwing hand? That's not like Little League kids do that. What is special about his transfers? I saw a clip with him side by side with Lindor, and IKF fields the same two-hopper with one hand in the middle of his body right near his cup, and he gets handcuffed and bobbles it. And Lindor fields that same ball with two hands and throws the guy out. How come he didn't transfer that time? He might as well had his right hand behind his back. The transfers? How can you possibly stand up there and look people in the eye with a straight face
That's
and
what I'm
say
talking
that?
about.
He's got to transfer half the
Transfers.
roster is what he's got to do.
Those transfers are so special. He got benched in the playoffs. That's how special those transfers were.
And the one
Give me a
time he
break.
needed to make a play on a not so great feed at second base and actually make a transfer and get a double play, it probably was the final nail in the coffin. We didn't get that double play.
That's what you get from the softest organization in professional sports.
And just so you know, IKF finished 20th in batting in the major leagues of all shortstops, and Donaldson was 20th also in third baseman, all major league third baseman.
One last thing.
20th.
Did you hear Boone in the press conference? He blamed Donaldson's struggles on the lockout. Was he the only player that the owners locked out? Because I thought the whole every major league player.
They ought to lock him out of the stadium next season.
And then the other thing that he said was, well, he was playing for a new team. Like 90% of his major league games have been played as an American League player. Like the stuff they come up with, it's sickening to listen to.
It's not
It
the first
really
time,
is.
Not
It's
the first time.
sickening.
Not the first time he's changed teams either. But it's the culture, excuses, and then we got everything. We talk about championships, we just don't win them.
Did Donaldson get the Gold Glove? I didn't say that, did he? No.
Missed out on
Who
that
did?
one.
DJ did, right? DJ
Yes,
get a
he
Gold
did.
Glove? Yeah.
As a utility guy, they just created another
Yeah.
Gold Glove utility guy.
Speaking of creating things in baseball, some players that have been passed over by the Hall of Fame. And by the way, this Hall of Fame segment brought to you by Skygazer Brewing. The Hall of Fame is introducing an era ballot, and the era we're talking about is the 80s, 90s, and there's a bunch of players that missed out rightly or wrongly, depending on how you feel about these things. Pretty controversial topic, mainly the steroid piece. But I'm going to go through the list of 8 people, and I just want you guys to give a quick synopsis. So, 1, in or out, and then if you have something to say about him. But number 1, Albert Bell.
I think out. Serious numbers. Just not a Hall of Famer, I don't believe. I mean, talk about a guy who his personality might keep him out. That's Albert Bell.
Ask Vina about that.
So, dominant player for a decade. Like, one of the most feared guys. And one guy I would love to be a Yankee. Kamish mentioned it. Unfortunately, he wasn't portrayed in the media as a good guy. So it's going to kill him because he was a villain. But let me tell you something. For one decade, and he probably just needs a couple more years, one of the most feared hitters for a
Absolutely.
decade.
I'm just going to give you just a couple numbers, and this is a slugger now. 295 career average.
Wow.
295. 381 home runs, 1,239 RBIs, 933 OPS. But again, when the media is selecting these guys, very, very unlikable guy. I have relatives in Cleveland. They couldn't stand him.
I take him in our
Big,
lineup.
big
though.
Indian fans. But there was stuff that we don't even know that was going on. But again, I think the Yankees had
They're always in and
a
out.
little agreement with him.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see him in pinstripes too, but I don't think he gets in. There's a little too much baggage, but I mean, there's other guys in the Hall of Fame with baggage too. Just
Yeah.
I don't think he gets in.
I might be wrong about the name. Second baseman Fernando Vina, Brewers.
Oh, God.
Forearm shiver.
Would he want? Would he let him in?
That guy's still out in left field.
He let him right in his
after
kitchen that
hit.
day. I'll tell you that.
Oh, he cleaned his clock. I don't think he can make it based on injury shortening his dominance. But you guys remember what he changed his name to?
Joey?
Albert?
Yeah. Oh, it was originally Joey?
Joey,
it was
yeah.
Joey.
Okay, you know where he went to college?
LSU.
The Tigers. Geaux Tigers. Barry Bonds, guys.
I mean, wait, what are you going to say? Like 7-time MVP. His numbers are off the charts, but again, it's who you ask and how people feel about the steroid
Well, how
stuff.
do you feel, though?
I mean, Ortiz is in, Bagwell's in, Piazza's in. Those guys are all, there were some rumors out there about him. I think they should all be in. I think Bond should be in. Yes.
I go no, because I don't think any of the steroid guys should be in.
But some are angry.
But it's hard to
Are
differentiate.
you angry about it?
Yeah, I am angry about it because I love the history of baseball, and I'll agree with Loddy that there are guys in. Ortiz was, he might have been, him and Sammy Sosa probably had a mixture of putting the steroids together. But I don't think you should. It should change just because this guy and people suggest there should be a steroid wing. I mean, what's right and what's wrong. It's what it comes down to me. They obviously cheated and got caught. But I will say this: Barry Bonds is the best baseball player I've ever seen.
Don't you think cheating was encouraged by those guys with the game being lost by the
Especially
fans?
Selig and the owners.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, I'm saying
Yeah.
I'm not saying they didn't turn
They're
a
all
blind eye to
culpable.
it. Yeah, I'm not saying. Yeah, Bud Selig, I mean, his comment was like, I didn't know what was going on. Like, geez.
You see in the
Did
Hall
you
of
see his
Fame?
forehead?
Yeah, and that's sad.
Okay, that's ridiculous then. The guy who allowed it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that
The
he should be
enabler.
in either, but no, I don't. We're just changing rules to get guys in.
Commish, you're almost a commish. Barry Bonds.
I say Barry Bonds is in. I say he's the best baseball player we've seen. He's the best baseball player we will ever have seen.
He's got to be in. I'm with you. Roger Clemens. I'm going to start this one. Talk about unlikable. I mean, Red Sox fans don't like him. Yankee fans don't like him. Blue Jays fans don't like him. That's who he played for. I think the Astros fans maybe like him. I hope so.
I like them.
Well, you're angry, though. I mean, you're a little different than the rest of
liked
us.
You also thought there was a ball coming back in on the mound.
I thought it was the ball.
It worked.
What?
did.
Jeez, he should be the next GM. He lies with the best of them. Clemens got to be in. Dominant.
Best pitcher in his generation, 4 times Cy Young. Again, not to be hypocritical, but there's guys that are in there that took steroids, and there's guys that aren't allowed in there because they took steroids. So I'm saying I'm a very moral person. You guys all know that, but he should be in.
So Bonds and Clemens. I mean, it does come down to numbers. It's just like, do you think steroid guys should get in? I mean, they're 7-time MVP, 7-time Cy Young winner. So my answer is no.
Commish.
I'm gonna say if we're going down the route that these guys are, the steroid guys do get in, Clemens is absolutely. I mean, absolute horse.
Palmiero. Pop goes the weasel here. I'm going to start us off with this one, too. I know I'm saying yes to the steroid guys. Can't for him for some reason. It might be personal.
Because when he was in Congress at the congressional hearings,
What
He
a
pointed
liar.
that finger right at all of us.
I have never used steroids, period.
Spoke
What
from
a-
the heart and lied.
What a liar.
He looks like he came out of the Fernando Tatis thing as steroids too, though. Like he took the steroids, just didn't lift weights. 'Cause it didn't show for him, but
I mean, the guy had almost 600 home runs and 1,800 RBIs. I mean,
And he had that swing
Again,
too. That swing was there,
I
It's like
just
these
say
guys
if Ortiz is in there, I mean, Bagwell's in there, these guys got to be in there for me.
nah.
Angry.
I agree. Put
With
him in.
angry or
put him
Mike?
in. Build a special wing.
I don't want to do that, though. Donnie Baseball.
Listen, I'm going to speak for all of us. He's got to be our all-time favorite athlete. Definitely
Absolutely.
all-time
Yep.
favorite Yankee. He just didn't. I got to be honest. He just didn't do it for long enough. from 84 to 88, 84 to 89, everybody, all his contemporaries said he was the best player in baseball. But, geez, his body just let him down. But, man, for those 5 or 6 years, and I'm sure none of us missed any of those games. We went to a lot of those games. That's the reason you went to that stadium, because there wasn't a lot to cheer for back then. That guy he was just a phenomenal baseball player. I don't think the numbers and the longevity get him in.
100% agree with Loddy. He was my guy, but looking at numbers and everything,
They don't compare to the other guys we've already talked about in this segment.
The Hall of Very
Played
good.
a great first base, though. Commish.
The numbers aren't there. Like you said, the Yankee fans love this guy. I mean, I remember him dipping into that guy's popcorn on the side, and thinking, man, I wish that was me. And, that started a trend. You see, like, Prince Fielder doing it when they went into the stands, but Donnie did everything right. He was a true Yankee and, a good captain, but not a Hall of Famer.
Well, guys, I hate to say it. I got to agree with you. Can we just pretend one
It
time like he's
stings,
taking his last at-bat?
At first base, number 23, Don Mattingly. Number 23.
What would we do, guys? What would we do? We'd stand up and do what?
Stand up.
Just stand the O.
If that back didn't fail him, my Lord.
You could not go
Man.
to someone's house when you're a kid and not see that Hitman poster on the wall somewhere, right? It's in the wall here,
Right there.
in the studio.
Yeah. Lottie's got it in the studio. Right in his dude. Dale Murphy.
Dale Murphy, yes. Underrated player, 2-time MVP, played on crappy teams.
82 and 83.
But one of the few guys that won back-to-back MVPs.
What number was he?
8.
3, I think.
3. It's a 3-bagger.
Yeah. So
Nice try.
Center fielder,
Angry couldn't get that one.
awesome production.
Look how angry he's getting.
Phenomenal. Like, he just played on terrible teams, but he's a Hall of Famer in my book.
Commish, Lottie.
Oh, for me, this one hits me in the heart because I found my glove that I used for 30 years at Waterville Park, and it's a Dale Murphy model. I still have it to this day. When I throw in batting practice to the little leaguers and the kids. So just for that alone, he's a Hall of Famer.
It didn't get much use, though.
But you should see it now.
Guy's a DH.
I've lost that thing about 3 or 4 times, but
That's why I
it keeps coming back to me. It keeps coming back to
Commish
me.
is a DH.
Yeah, he's in. Just in the fact that I got his autograph on my glove, right in the palm.
Dale Murphy, he was no Claudel Washington, in center field. But
Teammate.
if you guys remember, wasn't it TBS? Like the Braves
Yes.
are always
Oh,
on.
yeah.
And for whatever reason, I always felt like I was watching those games that the Yanks weren't on, or if they were playing early and the Yanks were on the West Coast. So I got to know the Braves, like Bob Horner and those kind of guys. And Dale Murphy definitely stuck out for me. He's very borderline for me. 265 average. I don't know if that gets it done if people are putting a lot of stock in average. But he probably had almost 400 home runs, right?
398.
398, 1,200 RBIs, somewhere around there. I'd like to see him get in there. Yes, I do think he's deserving.
265 might win you the batting title now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, you're right.
And how about
Yankees,
I always remember
He'd be batting third.
Dale
for the
Murphy
Yanks.
wearing the blue uniform too, which you don't see anymore.
Oh, the light blue.
Yeah.
He also wore the red.
Yeah.
Schilling, speaking of red, I think he gets in just because he played through that horrendous ankle injury with that bloody sock. I'd say he doesn't get in just because
The sutures.
of that propaganda. Another unlikable guy. I think he falls in the Albert Bell category.
I'm keeping it short and sweet. I don't want to see him go in at all. No, he's out.
Would I vote for him? No. He had a good career. If you look at his numbers, his regular seasons are
You're right.
really good. He gets boosted up because he's an all-time postseason pitcher. And, he's borderline for me, but I would go no. His career numbers are just a little
I
short.
think he had just over 200 wins, which,
Yeah.
again, nowadays, that's a lot because
Yep.
pitchers don't pitch as long and they're not getting as many starts. But he's going to fall short. I think, and then the off the field stuff with the political views and all that other
Bad
stuff.
man.
But if he never opened his mouth, I'd say he's in.
Yeah, but if you look at his postseasons with the Phillies, then the Diamondbacks, and then
And the Sox.
he's an all-time
Yeah, he's a
postseason
winner.
guy.
Bobby Mack, not to steal your thunder here, but Angry Jay, you're a big Moose guy, Musina. Comparable numbers, though, no?
Messina's is a little like his regular seasons are better.
Okay.
I mean, to pitch one game, like there's not many more guys I'm taking over Kurt Schilling. As much as I dislike the guy.
This next guy, you guys all know me on this one. I can't believe it's taken this long. And I think
Strawberry?
it's the biggest. Oh, stop it! No, he didn't do enough, but I do love him. Not the straw man. Another Yankee, because he was drafted by the Yanks, the crime dog, Fred McGriff,
Take a bite out of crime.
with 93 home runs.
Yeah, you got it.
I think the crime dog's been overlooked for way too long. He had 30 plus for like 9 to 11 years, something like that, in the non-steroid era when hitting, 40 and 50 was almost unthinkable. And he just, for team after team, he constantly was like a 3, 4, 5 staple, meat of the order guy. Loved his like follow through over the one hand over the head. I think the crime dog has been. I think it's been a crime he's not in.
I wrote down some stats because I know this is your guy, and we've talked about it quite a bit in the past. 284, 493 home runs. You hit it on the head. 1,550 RBIs, 2,500 hits, 1,350 runs. But then I also made another little list. Larry Walker's in. Harold Baines is in. Tim Raines is in. Barry Larkin, Roberto Alomar, Kirby Puckett. Is he not better than those guys? Angry Jay?
I'll agree with the first few guys. You're looking at Alomar and Raines are different type players in different positions, but I'll agree. Like he's definitely should be in. I mean, the production for the long. I mean, how many years? 15, 20-year career. He was a machine.
Just consistent.
Yeah, and looking at some of the other guys, he's definitely better than some of the other guys.
Graham Lloyd made him look silly in '96.
Should he be in?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
He should be
He
in,
should
yeah.
be in.
You guys remember Game 1 of '96 World Series when he almost knocked the foul pole?
Doink.
Oh,
You can
my
hear
I
it.
God.
still hear the sound, yeah.
Him and Andrew Jones that night, right?
Yeah, Andrew
Jones
hit
had
his
So
shoe.
upset that night. Commish,
He's in.
crime dog's in.
Knocking on the door, 500 home runs.
Commish. You used to vote. You used to have a Hall of Fame vote, right?
No, that was for college basketball player of the year.
Oh,
Not
player
Hall
of the
of
year.
Fame.
Okay.
I've been to the Hall of Fame a couple times, but
Were you close to getting a
I
vote
don't
as
think
a
so.
sports writer?
I didn't really have much of a baseball writing career. So
There's a few guys left off this list that I can't believe. Mark McGuire? How's this guy not on this list?
Nobody likes him because he's a steroid guy.
Okay, so who's McGuire tied to?
Sosa, Bonds.
How is Sosa not on this list? Just because he looks like he's like Hector Macho Camacho now? With that suntan he's reverse suntan he's got?
I'll tell you what. That summer where they were going at it,
That saved
that
baseball.
Save baseball was so much fun to watch. Locked in on those games.
That was like the fish that saved Pittsburgh. That was the battle that saved baseball.
Sammy running around with the American flag out there.
Unbelievable.
McGuire bear hugging the Maris family.
I don't understand how you can make that list and not have those two guys on there.
What a fraud, though, McGuire. What a fraud.
Who cares? He hit home runs.
I do.
Yeah, you don't get to vote, luckily.
The Tom Amansky video. That's what it was. I was trying to think of the Tom.
Oh,
what
yeah.
was the name of the Fred McGriff video? You guys
Tom
remember that?
Amansky.
It used to be on all the time in the 80s
With
and
the
90s.
with the Carolina blue
Yeah.
mesh hat.
Even top professional players are impressed. Just ask Major League superstar Fred McGriff.
I'm so impressed with the instructional videos by Coach Amansky that I've given them my full endorsement.
Mesh hat with no writing on it.
The stirrups that were like part of the sock, like written on the sock.
Guys, we look forward to this vote. I think it's in November. Or no, it's in December. Look forward to these guys getting in. And guy I'm pulling for, McGriff, and it would be an upset of all time. But if it's Donnie, I'm going to visit that monument, and we'll be there on induction day. We're going to do a special edition of the pod that day from up in up in the
Cooperstown.
coop. Up in the coop. Yeah, Johnny and I've been there. All right, we are transferring to basketball. We're now going to talk about the Yukon Huskies being 1-0 and a former member of the Horde. I mean, this guy wears many hats. He was just wearing his glasses on his head, so he
Right.
wears his glasses.
Yes, I couldn't find them.
Possible baseball commish, and former member of the Horde following the Yukon Huskies. Now, the commish.
Well, I have a complaint to make. I tried to insert our black card for the podcast credit card into the SNY. That's not SNY. Into the
FS1.
FS1 app last night and it was not taking it, so I had to watch the game in pieces. So I didn't watch it all fully. But UConn won by 30 points over Stonehill. They looked every bit a team that's never played Division I before. The big takeaway from that game is Jordan Hawkins getting hurt again. I don't know if you guys saw. He played 9 minutes. Hurt in the first half. He went down. It looked to me like it was more of a whiplash thing. But with the concussions last year, they missed the postseason. That's a big loss. Him and Andre Jackson. They haven't. UConn has not come out with a statement yet saying what's going on with that. But it looked to me. I mean, the kid went down the floor. He tried to get up. He went back down. He went to the locker room. He came out with a towel around his head and tears in his eyes, which is never a good thing. I mean, that's
what a blow.
So you got Andre Jackson and him out for, I'm thinking of at least 3 or 4 weeks, right?
So much for that Sweet 16 appearance. But speaking of big takeaways, how about the big guy?
The big guy played very well last night. Donovan, 9.7 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 19 minutes off the bench. Really aggressive. I was saying to Bobby Mack before the game, the kid does not look good in a uniform, but that's a good thing. That the collar's stretched out. It looks like people are tugging and hanging on him the whole time. He's a blue-collar guy, brings his lunch pail. Hurley said when he came into the game, he thought that maybe Jim Calhoun or Ray Allen or Rip walked into the building because of the ovation he got.
Yeah, big Bristol contingent there last night.
Absolutely. And Hurley says it's going to be special, the relationship he has with the fans over the years, and I believe it. I was happy. I think he played really well last night. Loddy, we talked about them playing with 4 guards, 4 shooters, and a big
4
guy.
Out, 1 in,
yeah, they did that with him. He really showed himself well. A good passer, which is going to be
he's
key.
Got a great feel for the game.
And, going forward with Hawkins and Jackson injured, they're going to need him. And
Twin Towers.
They're going to be experimenting a little bit now. I think it's going to be good for the team. There's so many new faces, especially in the backcourt.
Not that a lot of teams go zone in college hoops, but you can go high-low with him at the free throw line and Sonogo down low because he is a tremendous passer. I'm going to steal somebody. I saw this. His nickname might be Charter Oak.
Oh,
The Charter
Oak.
The Charter Oak.
No, I'm happy for him. I mean, the reception he got, that's a
classic.
good nickname.
I didn't come up with it. I stole it, but I love it.
Did you hear it?
Did you just
I
copyright that in the show right now?
I heard it.
We got to get the shirts out before they get them out.
The Charter Oak.
No, we'd never do that to the kid. He should get it all.
A couple other games of note.
Hold on,
go ahead, yeah.
The guards. I mean, can these guys compete and get us where we want to go?
I almost
transfers.
I almost got the feeling last night that we were starting all over.
Oh, boy.
I did.
Boy.
When I watched that game, I got the feeling, they won 1 game last year in the tournament. We are starting over. Those guys are going to handle the ball. There's 6 to 7 new faces. Some of them look like they can shoot it, but it's going to be. I think we're going to have some growing pains along the way.
Gonna need some
The
guard play.
Carabin kid might be kind of fun.
He can shoot. He can definitely shoot. And
From the
he's
Northeast?
confident, and seems to not be afraid to knock it down.
Well, we got to guard the ball and get it past half court when we have it. So I'm really worried about that. Anybody else play this week?
Yeah, Rutgers. How about Rutgers taking a big 75-35 win over Columbia with the Loyola Maryland transfer pouring in 17 points with 6 steals and 5 assists.
Cam
Spencer, the roof was blown off the rack, they said.
That's not easy because that place, it's tough to impress over there. That's why Ron Harper and Gio and the boys.
Yeah, they showed up. They were there. Yeah. They're in the stands.
Mag and Hyatt at the wings with that wingspan. One of those guys is going to lose a little playing time when Wakano comes back because he'll be on the floor with Mulcahy and Amarui. But I think Pike's going to have some fun with this team. They got some athletes. They get up and down the floor. Like I said, the wings and the span is impressive. But Cam Spencer's going to be a key because I think he can knock down those shots.
Well, he's certainly off to a good start.
Are they better than last year's team?
I think it's going to take some time, but they might be.
Well, they don't have a closer like they've had. I mean, they've had the privilege to have 2 closers. Mm-hmm. Gio with the step back and Ron to do whatever you wanted him to do, and but that's what it's like. And Angry Jay, you remember being a high school coach? People be like, "Oh, but you lost this guy, you lost that guy." You don't lose guys.
They graduate.
Yeah, you get new
move
guys.
on,
You get new guys.
What you can always say about Coach Pico's teams, though, in all honesty, like they started off slow last year, right? And they just get better. They get better at they defend, they rebound. That's a staple. That's a foundation. That's always going to be there. But I think Spencer's going to be a key. I really do.
I love both the way both UConn and Rutgers have defended. Even the start. You can see that stuff you can't teach. Be in the right spot, moving your feet, get in front of guys. So, yeah, I think they're off to a good start. Another game of interest. How about Georgetown snapping a 21-game losing streak?
Stay hot, Patrick.
Hoya paranoia.
A Cook.
Say what?
Right? He was my guy. I wish he was still at UConn, but he had a really good game last night. 18 points, I think it was, and 12 rebounds. Really, they went to overtime. They ended up winning that game. And Windsor's Primo Spears transferred from Duquesne. Big night, 28 points he poured in.
The pride of Windsor, Connecticut.
He was a stud in high school. Absolute stud.
Oh, he looked good last night.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good for him. I mean, they can't get any worse. So what a good spot. I mean, somebody's got to put it in the net for them.
And maybe the biggest story of the college basketball scene in Connecticut, especially Angry Jay, you can touch on this. John Gallagher resigning the day before they start the season.
Yeah, it's a shame. I don't, who knows what the inner workings going on, but a day before the season opener is kind of tough, especially for the kids. I mean, they're there and. The day before the opener. I mean,
Probably a lot of them are there because of him.
Oh, they're all there. They're
right?
pretty much all there because of him. I mean, the kids don't. They're picking the coach, because it's a kind of like a family situation for things, and it's awful. It's awful for the kids.
I hope they knew. I don't know.
I'm sure there was.
I hope the kids knew before he made the announcement. I hope he told them first.
I mean, the reason was. What exactly?
Well, it wasn't the reason. The first reason is that they just went renegade and decided they're going to drop to Division III for whatever reason, obviously financial. But this is a coach that led his team to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's had some other big signature wins over the last few years. And not to say I'm like a huge fan, but the guy's done a nice job over there.
He's done a terrific job.
Yeah,
he didn't have the support of the administration.
International
obviously.
players, and he went up against the president and tried to see if they could reverse this thing. And when things don't go your way, you think you can do something about it. But they'd already made up their mind. It's over.
If they're looking for a Division III coach, I'm available.
Well, listen,
Angry Jay, Eastern Connecticut
listen,
State University.
You should get that job. I don't know if you guys know this, but I applied for the commissioner of Major League Baseball, and
Anything's possible.
anything's possible.
Kevin Garnett.
You may even get a resignation. Turned down by letter in the mail, which is supposed to get.
Angry's got a few of those.
I got a bunch of those emails.
I got one too.
They come weekly.
Hey, so here's the straw that broke the camel's back was they went on a road trip to Dartmouth without a trainer. Kid got hurt, and apparently the injury got worse on a bus ride home because they didn't have somebody treating him.
Well, maybe
you can't have it.
Maybe
Can't
they
have
thought,
it.
Maybe they thought the Dartmouth kids were so smart they could take care of their player on the court for them. I don't know.
Hey, welcome to Division III basketball.
That's true.
No,
That's true.
that's not
That's a
Division
good
III
point, Jim.
basketball. At this point, it's Division I basketball. You can't have it.
Well, get used to it, I guess, maybe.
Well, he's not going to have to get used to it because he packed it in, and I guarantee he's not going to wait long for another job.
He's going to wait 1 year at least, right?
No, that's true.
Less than that. As soon as the season's over for somebody,
Oh,
the guy's going to get a job.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not wishing him good luck, but anyway, we good?
Rutgers hosts Sacred Heart on Thursday,
Dub.
and UConn returns with a game on Friday at Gamble Pavilion.
Okay, let's keep it
Fairfield.
basketball for a second. This segment brought to you by Skygazer Brewing. Loddy Mac Sports on the Sack. We're going into a whole new segment called our Mount Rushmore segment. And in this segment, we're going to take a team, a league, a sport. We're going to take a category and give who we think is our Mount Rushmore. For those of you non-U.S. history people out there, that's going to be the best four. Your best four. And I hope we don't agree on this. I'd like us to have some room to debate. Listeners, hit us up, man. You think we're wrong? Get on us.
This is a fun topic.
Yeah, I want to have the commissioner go first because the commissioner he applied for Major League Baseball commissioner.
So these are the Big East Mount Rushmore?
Yep.
Not NBA careers, just what they
All
did.
right, I'm going to pick
in
one right
college.
away I think has to be on there. Pat Ewing.
I think we would all agree with that one, right?
Yeah. So he is the Big East.
Right. I would say Chris Mullen.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right, we're gonna hit.
Yeah,
We're gonna hit on all.
We're gonna hit them all.
All right, how about this? I'll put Ray Allen in there.
Ding, ding, ding for me.
I don't know. See, that was.
I don't got Ray.
How about Walter Berry?
He was awesome,
Another good
man.
one.
I don't have him. What number was he? Angry? Oh, Lottie, you got to know this.
21.
What number was Shelton
That was
Jones?
my
Same
team
team,
growing
31.
Mark Jackson,
up. 13.
Wennington,
25.
So those
Mullen.
Mullen was 20.
Good.
Those are my four.
we're all very similar ages. I fell in love with basketball because of the Big East. It wasn't NBA at the time. I was, a Knicks fan. They were awful in the early '80s, but
We're off.
As opposed to now.
in the '80s,
They really turned it around.
Must-see TV in my house, in my room, was Big East basketball. St. John's, Georgetown, Villanova, Syracuse. Those were pretty much the big four, right? So for me, when I first saw Patrick Ewing play a college game, I had never seen anything like him. And at the time, Ralph Sampson was in college too. But watching Patrick Ewing and his dominance on the defensive end, he was just a force down low. Chris Mullen, smooth operator, lefty, wing jumper, no three-point line at that time. And I think he had about 2,500 career points without a three-point line. Basically, single-handedly brought his team to the Final Four that year. His senior year, they lost to Georgetown. But those two guys, I think, were the foundation of Big East basketball. And then another guy that maybe some people don't think about because he didn't have a big NBA career, for me, was Pearl Washington.
Loved him.
Just the way at the Garden in those Big East games, he just lit that place up. When he got the ball in his hands in transition, he was just he was so impressive to watch. He had a little inside-out dribble into a
Left-handed,
crossover.
yeah.
Like, he wasn't a great athlete. That's what made him different than all these other guys. He was probably 6'2", 6'3", but his frame was very, very odd. But he was a magician with the ball, the look-away pass.
Mac, we got a number on Pearl Washington?
31. The Pearl.
He had a weird upper. Wasn't his upper
Yeah, it was
body
just
like a little
something
longer?
was weird. His chin there was something a little bit off. But when he got the ball, he was just so dynamic. And then my fourth guy is Ray Allen, because I'll never forget the shot. The little runner off 1 foot in the lane against Georgetown. You kind of had their dream season a few years previously, but I really thought he really put them on the map in terms of a blue chip program. And in his 3 seasons, I could be wrong about this. You guys could research it. I think in the AP poll, the final AP poll, his 3 years, not in any particular order, they finished 3rd, 4th, and 8th. That was UConn basketball, led by Ray Allen. And then I think they got those guys like Rip and Elamine and those type of players because of guys like Ray Allen, and it catapulted to the '99 championship.
Pretty good.
So I'll give you guys a couple more. Like Ewing and Mullen, I think we all agree on. Ewing, to me, was the most dominant college player of his era, like for a decade. And maybe even for
Didn't he have 4 goaltendings against Carolina in the finals?
Championship game as a freshman. The first 4 baskets by Carolina were all goaltending calls. And I wasn't a Georgetown fan, but they made 3 national title games with him. They won 1. Mullen was, again, that's when the Big East went on. Him and Ewing kind of put it on the map. So to me, he's an automatic. I'll give you 2 other guys. And there's so many guys to pick from. Like, I wasn't a big fan of him, but like his college career was fantastic. It was Derek Coleman of Syracuse.
Yep.
Baskets and rebounds, and he was a #1 pick.
NBA career was good too.
Yeah, he was so good. He was one of those guys that you always wanted more. Like, you thought he was kind of an underachiever, but he had a great college career and a good NBA career. And I'll give you one
Did he
more.
play with Petrovic or no?
I think he was, yeah.
Okay.
I think he was there for a little bit. And I'll give you one more just because I'm a homer, too. I was trying to stick with guys for 4 years, but to me, you guys said Ray. I'll take Rip just because they won a national title. And UConn was... Ray kind of got him to national prominence. That I know they had a couple years before it, but we were all like hoping they could make a Final Four, win national title, and Rip kind of got him over the hump. And he was... To me, Rip's a little underrated for all-time Big East player.
And underrated for his NBA career, too, I think.
Yeah.
He really had a good NBA career.
All right, I'm going to go, we're very similar, but disclaimer about Ewing being the most dominant college player of all time, and I'm talking about in almost any sport. Disclaimer, we obviously didn't see those UCLA teams.
Yeah.
We didn't see the Lou Alcindors and a Waltons. But
And Leitner had a pretty good career, too.
Oh,
terrific. We'll get to the ACC, Johnny. Johnny, we'll get to the ACC.
I know. But
Commish.
we going to the Pac-10 here?
We're talking Dave Gaffett for a minute here, okay? All right. I'm talking Patrick Ewing. Obviously, we all agreed on him. Coleman, I have Coleman, the big lefty. Number?
44.
44. You know, I left out was Kerry Kittles was the guy I was thinking about, too.
Stop it. Cycles number?
4.
Okay.
Come on,
Sherman?
challenge us. 20.
Sherman?
20.
Raphael Addison on that team?
12.
No, he wasn't on that
Yeah,
team.
he was.
No, he wasn't on that team. That lost to Indiana, he was a little bit before.
Yeah, he's right.
They had Stevie Thompson.
Stevie Thompson, 32.
Howard Trish.
23. Howard Trish, 25. Okay.
All right, back to the
I got
stuff.
Coleman. I thought he was a terrific pro too. I mean, he was a numbers stat stuffer guy. I had him in my first fantasy NBA team. I got Ray. I thought about Ray and Kittles, and I've watched the highlights. Guys, listeners, if you're bored one night or right now, get on your phone and
No, not right now. Not while we're doing the podcast, but maybe
yeah.
after.
Well, pause us and then do the Ray Allen versus Kittles
I agree,
game
Allen.
at Gamble, and I was there. It was
Unbelievable.
the night of a snowstorm. There was supposed to be nobody there. Everybody was there. Dick Vitale. The roof almost blew off that place. And Ray put on a show. But him and Kittles were the two that went back and forth. And at the height of Big East popularity, I think they were the two faces, the two stars. And there were many others, but they were the two guys, the two wing guys. I take Ray over Kittles. And then the other one, he's more of a Darth Vader, more of a villain. But, I got Mr. Iverson in there, man. Mr. Iverson was tough.
I was thinking about him. Yep.
Yeah, he only went 2 years. That's why I didn't.
Yeah, two pretty good years.
No, two phenomenal.
How about
years.
Carmelo?
And for the size of, I know Carmelo too, but for the size of Iverson, and if you ever listen to his Hall of Fame induction speech, he said, I guess, didn't turn out too bad for a football player. He never wanted to play basketball.
Yeah, he was a better football player than he was
Imagine
basketball
that.
player.
How spoiled were we to get to see all these guys in one conference? These are legendary names,
Yeah.
right? Legendary college names, and most of them that we're mentioning were very good in the pros, too.
And
it was
there's
just
20 or
great
30 more.
Like the kids nowadays, I feel like they don't have the connection that we had to those games. The big Mondays on ESPN.
How about those Pitt teams with Sean Miller and Charles Smith, Jerome Lane, and these guys?
Yeah.
There's
Man.
some of the Villanova
And
guys.
Seton
Seton Hall had some good teams.
Orlando Antigua, is he still a coach somewhere? Might be ahead by now.
I always
He was- yeah, he
feel
was
like he's on a
Central Florida
different
for a
bench
while.
every year.
Yeah.
He was with Kentucky for quite a bit, right?
No love for Kemba, though, huh?
Kemba's in the
Kemba
top
had a great-
20.
I know.
I mean, maybe
absolutely.
15.
I think he might be top 10. I don't know.
Well, I think Ray and Rip are both above him.
Not sure if anybody had a better
Danielle's
week,
probably in
though.
the top 25.
Did anybody ever have a better week in the Big East tournament than Kemba Walker?
That was amazing. Every game,
That's
we're like, they
5
can't
wins,
keep
right?
doing it.
It was 5?
Can't
Yeah.
keep doing it. All right, guys, we're moving on to my favorite
I like
segment.
that, though. I like that segment.
Oh, next week, get ready for next week's Mount Rushmore segment. This segment brought to you by Skygazer Brewing. This is Who Would You Rather? Quick hit back on baseball, guys, and I mean this one. I'm dead serious. On this year's team, Ray Ordonez or IKF? Light hitting Ray Ordonez.
I mean, do we have to pick these guys?
yes,
Really?
come on, let's go.
Oh, my God.
You'll see why.
This is harder than the McDonald's
I'll
Burger King
take-
one.
I'll take Ordonez. He was a terrific fielder.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
sure-handed Ordonez.
Ordonez, definitely.
Okay. I take Ordonez too. So that Ray Ordonez over IKF. Ray Charles or Josh Donaldson.
Ray Charles?
Yeah.
Straight up, Ray Charles.
Yeah, he could work a walk, right?
Yeah.
That's a tough one, too.
See more pitches.
I'm going to go with Ray Charles.
Loddy.
Yeah, I'm going Ray Charles, too, because he's going to see at least 3, 4, 5 pitches every AB.
Ah, you have a good eye, my man.
Right? I mean, you get to the bullpen by the 4th inning with that guy on your team.
So, Cash, if we're going to take Ray Charles over your guy, Josh Donaldson, who you're bringing back again, we all have 3 words for you.
Stay hot.
Stay hot.
Stay hot, Cash.
How was Ray Charles' transfer, do you know?
Well, it's really good. I mean, he can't see.
Oh, his
gloves to hands.
metrics are off the charts.
Love Ray Charles, but guys, we're not making fun of Ray Charles.
No.
We love his work, but
Absolutely.
I honestly would take him over Donaldson. He wouldn't have swung at that 3-1 pitch. We got a shot to get a walk there. All right, I'm gonna go. This is the Dr. Duncanstein segment.
Here we go! Here we go!
slams one in, and it's a 12-point lead for Louisville as Dr. Duncanstein performs.
We're going to go best game dunker. This is game dunker.
Oh, this is easy.
No, okay, all right. We're going to start out.
Oh, I don't get to pick?
With little guys. No, I'm giving you to who'd you rather?
Guys? Oh, God.
Spud Webb, Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson. In game?
Yeah, Nate.
Knicks.
I wanted to. I'll go
Celtics.
I'll go Nate Robinson. I wanted to put Kevin Johnson in this. I'm not sure he was small enough.
Well, he was a little guy.
Yeah. We'll get him next time.
guys.
We'll get him next time. Power dunking big guys in a game. Blake Griffin, Sean Kemp, go.
Oh, Kemp.
Camp.
That's a good one though.
Let me tell you something. I love Kemp. Blake Griffin had a couple of those dunks where he just throws it into the basket, or might be the best dunks like I've ever seen, other than one other guy.
Who are you taking?
I'll take Blake.
Remember Blake Griffin's brother's name? And was it a twin?
Yes, it was. It wasn't a twin.
They both played
He was older,
together, though,
Yeah,
right?
he couldn't play.
Well, he was all right. Come on, Angry. You'd take him on ECSU. All right. I got Blake. I got Blake, too. We were 2-2 on that one. We need the Don Father to break it. Don Father not here tonight, guys. He's on business, but we got all his stuff.
Is it podcast business or personal business?
Believe it or not, he stepped out for personal business.
Oh.
I made fun of him on the McCaffrey thing last week, and he doesn't show.
Imagine that. He did say play Mixon, though. Okay, next. Game dunker. Two old-time Skywalkers. David Thompson, Dr. J. Go.
Oh, the doctor.
I'll go with Doctor. I mean, David Thompson's a little early for me.
Yeah, same with me. But highlights, Thompson was impressive, but Dr. J for me.
Him dunking on Bill Walton is hilarious. Like, you ever heard Bill Walton's story? He's like, Dr. J Hall of Fame induction. He's on it just as much as him getting dunked on by the doctor.
But Dr. J, what he did, coming down the lane, oh my gosh, and there I have it. Oh, come on, ref. He's using my shoulder as a catapult there, please.
How about those rock the baby to sleep dunks?
The one against the Lakers.
That's the one I'm talking about. I think Chick Hearn labeled it.
I'll take the doc too. Julius, the Dr. Irving.
From the University of Massachusetts, number 6, captain of the Philadelphia 76ers, Julius the Dr. Irving.
Number at UMass?
32.
Got it.
All right. I mean, you guys might laugh at this one. I think it's closer than you think. One's kind of power, the other one's finesse. And I'm going to go in-game dunks. Dominique Wilkins, Ja Morant.
Oh, Dominique for me.
Dominique's another one of those power guys. Yeah, he was. Ja flies through that lane and throws it down, and you don't think he's going to.
He's impressive at 6 foot nothing though, too, huh?
So I got to say
Spider-Man out there.
Dominique.
I'll lean towards Dominique, but I need a little more body of work for Ja. But I'll agree. He's impressive so far.
John Morant, the most fun player to watch in the NBA.
Yeah, if he just ran his mouth slightly less, everything else is terrific. I saw him in college in the NCAA tournament at Hartford.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
And that dunk he had there was kind of right in front of us, and I was so happy to bring my kids, my father-in-law. That what a show the kid put
I was sitting right behind the bench in that second round game when they got ousted and they took him out with like a minute to go. Right behind his bench, the whole Civic Center rose up, 15,000 people, and gave him a standing ovation. That's how impressive that kid was.
Was that his last college game?
Yes.
Wow, so his last college game played right here in the Civic Center.
And the Knicks missed him by 1 pick.
They wouldn't have taken
him. They wouldn't have taken him, dude.
They wouldn't have taken him.
So
They would have
close.
took somebody else that couldn't play.
So close, but
Angry
so far
Loddy.
away.
The best day of the year, draft day. All right, guys, a slight tweak on Who'd You Rather. We're going to go start one, sit one, cut one. I'm going to give you 3. You know who's coming right here. You know who's coming. LeBron, MJ, Kobe. Game dunks. Just game dunks.
So we're just staying on dunks.
Game
we're not talking
dunks.
players.
Game dunks.
Starting Jordan. What were the other 2 categories?
Kobe and LeBron.
Kobe and then LeBron. I'm going
So
in
we're
that
cutting
order.
LeBron?
Yep.
Bingo. I'm not going to say mine because I'm with Mike. I'm with Lottie. Go.
I'm the same too, 100%.
Yeah,
the breezy. See ya.
Jordan 1, Kobe 2, and I'll cut LeBron.
We all did it. Wow. Boy, and I love LeBron and his body of work and his citizenship and stance on things. No, I'm only kidding.
He's a great GM.
All right, back to Who'd You Rather. Will Ferrell, Steve, is it Carell? How do I say that name?
Will Ferrell.
Really?
Will Ferrell.
Who you got?
Start him or cut him?
No, just one. Pick one.
Oh, number?
Come on.
I'm going to say...
one.
Oh, Will Ferrell I'm keeping for sure.
You don't get the show.
That's not
What's the
one or
question?
the other.
What
Who
would
do you
you
like?
rather have?
Who do you
Would
like
you rather-
better?
I'd rather have Will Ferrell. That's what I just said.
All right, us two.
Come on.
Us two.
Angry
But-
commit.
Number? How about saying number? If I say number, it's the...
Number 1, right? Wasn't he in Tropic Thunder or whatever they storm?
Who'd you take, Loddy?
Will
What
Ferrell.
number was he on the Cubs?
I'll take Carell, dude. I like him. All right, one movie, rest of your life.
Oh, Jesus. Goodfellas and what?
Nope.
No? Casino.
All the right moves, or Remember the Titans.
I'm on all the right. I got a T-shirt, all the right moves. Steph Georgievic and Brian Riley. What school was he supposed to go to?
Pipe. Oh,
He couldn't maintain his fantastic 2.0 average.
Penn State.
SC.
SC.
Brian Riley.
No, that's the lineman.
The
Sean Penn.
linebacker, yes.
Sean Penn. He
Doesn't
got
go
his
to
girlfriend
college.
pregnant. He didn't go to college.
I don't think it was Sean Penn. It was his brother, right?
Chris
What was-
Penn.
Chris
Steph Georgievic. What was his number?
Scooney Penn, I think it was.
Ooh, I got you.
33.
Ooh, nicely
It was
done.
33.
Nice,
You're
nice.
right. Who was the girl in the movie?
Thompson, Leah Thompson.
Yep.
What was the quarterback's name?
I don't know.
Rifleman.
Coach's name?
I don't know. It was the coach on
Craig T.
Christy
Nelson.
Nickerson.
Yep.
They banged up his house.
I'm going to come
He
clean
deserved
here.
it.
I've never seen
How
All
do
the
you?
Right
How, let
Moves.
me ask
You
you.
got
how-
it.
You've
You
never
gotta
seen
watch
it?
it.
I don't even know what it's about. Is that where they fly the planes? And
No, Tom Cruise. The coach blew a game, and Tom
no,
Cruise
never
got
seen it.
Let me ask you something.
Check it
so
out.
they make the goal line stand there against Walnut Heights.
Yeah.
They stop Alexander
Did
at
you
the
just
goal
watch
line.
it last night? Like, what?
No.
Where's this coming from?
Listen. I watch sports and I watch movies. That's all I watch. So,
Sicario.
greatest movie going. So,
next week.
let me ask you something. How do they have Salvucci run the ball? How is Rifleman not just taking a knee? Like,
We didn't quit. You quit.
Like,
Or a
come
little
on,
QB
Nickerson.
dive, just lay down on it.
Nickerson, come on.
Yeah, he got greedy.
There's the garbage that was spilled on his lawn. It was well deserved.
No, never deserved.
How do you not? How do you not
No,
take
that's
a knee
crossing
there?
the line.
Oh.
Then
It's
what does
pencil-
Cashman deserve? The guy was trying to win the game.
He
was
should
pulling
have been
a Herm
fired
Edwards.
years ago. Cashman wouldn't even have played Salvucci for God's
Garbage.
sakes. It wouldn't have been his turn.
Banging on trash cans.
Is this even a conversation? Remember the Titans or All the Right Moves?
Yeah.
All the right moves.
No way.
What do you got?
Remember the Titans?
Me too.
Oh.
Because I saw that
Feel
one.
good movie. Real feel good movie.
Yeah, it's garbage.
I'll take
It's
it.
overrated.
Left side, right side? Come
all-
on.
Only
So-
ran
so-
6 plays. Based on a true story.
That's all you need.
That's right.
Sunny. Sunshine, whatever his name was. All right. Last one. Would you rather be alive
Yes.
in Hiroshima / Nagasaki
What are we doing here?
or have Cash come back as GM? I mean, you got to survive an atomic bomb. Yeah.
The former.
No, Cashman. You got to. I mean, I want to live.
I think I
I got
took my
kids.
chances. Some people made it out, didn't they?
I don't know, Bobby Mack. It's just not a good topic.
No,
I
I
don't think.
don't think maybe like.
I mean, we don't want Cash back.
Black Death
End
or
of
Cash?
story. Who?
Black Death or Cash? The Plague or Cash? You got to take all that stuff. You can't take Cash.
You know, I said give me the bullet last week, and you
Yeah,
said I
exactly.
got to make a
Yeah,
choice.
Now he's saying.
No, I'm
bomb.
giving you a choice.
No, A-bombs we're talking about.
All right, we're moving on. This next segment brought to you by Skygazer Brewing. We're going into the Don Father picks of the week. And sadly, folks, no Don Father. We're going to have to give you his stardom situms. The Don Father's dumpster fire of the week. Packers losing to the Lions, just unacceptable. Rodgers, 3 red zone interceptions, unacceptable. And the Don Father did say, maybe he has a good game this week. He is playing the Lions. QB is to start. Fields is on fire versus Detroit. Still the worst defense. Hurts versus the Redskins or whatever they're called. Hurts going to go crazy on Monday night. Tua versus the Browns. Loddy, how you feeling about that? Definitely sit Cousins. Big game in Buffalo. Probably too big for him. Interested to see if Allen plays. I haven't seen an update today, but is he playing?
They list him as questionable day to day. Sean McDermott said.
Also sit Jimmy G versus the Chargers. They're going to run the ball a ton. Running backs to start. Chubb versus Miami. Don Father really going out on a limb. ATN versus KC. The script will probably be to keep the score low and get ATN seriously involved. Pollard if Zeke doesn't play. Good call, buddy. I'd say Pollard if Zeke plays. Sit Aaron Jones. He's just not healthy. Sit Najee Harris. I just traded for him. Sweet. Against New Orleans. Antonio Gibson versus Philly. You got to sit him. Wide receivers. Got to start A.J. Brown versus Washington. Weak versus the pass. The Lions guy I can't pronounce.
St. Brown.
Yeah, a lot of targets from Goff. Playing a weak Bears D who traded away everybody this week. Kirk been off, but playing KC should have some opportunities. Sit Terry McLaurin, Michael Pittman Jr., Robert Woods, and the reason is Surtees is guarding Woods. Slay is on McLaurin. Not a good matchup. Tight end, watch out for T.J. Hawkinson. If Allen plays,
Don Father's really going on a limb.
Don Father's really
play the studs.
Take
Is that
some
what he's
chances,
going with?
So I think he's saying play all the Bills and wide receivers and tight ends. I don't know.
If you guys have Walter Payton on your fantasy team, play him this week.
Yeah,
Good call, Don.
Dude, if you got Brady and Montana, can you play them this week? Just this week, you got to play them. Don't put Carr and Tua in there.
Does the Don Father have a cowboy hat on top of that head of hair of his or what? Right now, somewhere in Arlington.
Picks. Loddy, the only correct pick last week. Loddy's in first place at 5-2.
Stay hot.
The Don Father 4-3. Bobby Mack 3-4. Angry J 2-3. The Commish. Commish doesn't have a batting average yet.
No. I'm like the Yankee lineup, 0-3.
Oh, I take back what I said about the Josh Allen stuff. He's taking the Bills. Minus the what? Bills minus whatever they are.
Minus 3.5.
Minus 3.5. Lottie, who are you taking? You're in first place.
I'm taking the Chargers +7.
Mixing a receiver.
Is Keenan Allen ever going to play? I mean, what's going on with
he's
him?
milking. He's got Ricky Henderson and him are milking the same hamstring.
And Mike Williams.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be many points scored in that game, but I'll take the Chargers. 7 seems like a big number against the Niners, who don't put up a ton of points. So I'll take the Chargers.
Commish, can you get a batting average here?
I took Green Bay last week, and what I saw was disastrous. So I'm taking the Cowboys minus 4.5 points.
Don't do it.
Who's Rodgers going to blame this week?
Sucker bet. There's no way they're covering that.
No, listen,
Everyone's
I need to get back on track.
You need to get on track.
No, I got to get on track.
Back on track.
You know, I should do this for pay.
Commish did do this for pay in the Record Journal.
He did.
Angry
That's
Jay.
a good years.
I'll go Raiders -6 against the Colts. I think
Colts are that bad?
Yeah, they're horrific, and they got a drunken owner changing guys' teams, quarterbacks, coaches, you name it. I think Devontae Adams has been sounding off, so big game out of him.
Called out the organization.
Yep.
Not why he came there.
Exactly.
You think he's regretting it?
No. He gets paid either way. So I'll take Raiders -6.
All right. I'm going to take Tom Brady, as much as it pains me to do it, -3 over the Hawks. I'm not totally confident in this, other than the fact that he got to start winning games. Or do they tie for second now? I mean, in division, or tie for first?
They might be first.
Just a terrible
I think
division.
they're first at 4 and 5, right?
Yeah, terrible division, but he wants to win it. He wants to prove the world's wrong for thinking he was wrong. And there's nothing I've ever liked and will like about Pete Carroll, and from his making the choke sign back in the days to his cockiness.
The Monarchs.
Yeah, the only thing
How
I
about
give
the
him.
pass against the Patriots at the goal line?
I know.
I'm not going to forget that one.
Stay hot, Pete.
Stay out of the way of the
only thing I
referee.
like about him is that he stood the test of time. I mean, he's still doing it. He was one of the few guys that was dominant for a minute in college and the pros. I mean, everyone else stinks at that.
Yep.
Herm Edwards couldn't be reached.
Oh, his games in
Saban.
college were must-watch games.
Saban? Jesus.
I have
terrible.
I got a question for you, Bobby Mack. I talked to these guys earlier. Has there ever been a college playoff where Clemson or Alabama hasn't been in the Final Four?
Well, it's only how many years old?
I think it's since 2014-15, but I don't know if either team's going to get in there. Bama's got 2 losses. That Bama LSU game, if you guys wow. That was a great college football game.
Fun to watch, yeah.
So happy for the LSU coach. Yeah, really.
I wish he wasn't.
Stay hot, Chip.
That ruined the whole night.
Stay hot, Chip. This show has been brought to you by Skygazer Brewing. Yep. Kamish, want to sound off?
Yeah,
again?
I do want to sound off. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same thing, but everywhere I go, people are asking me about the podcast. It's become a big deal in
I've
Southington,
noticed that
Bristol.
Too.
Can't go into a grocery store. One thing I want to remind you guys that we got to develop some thick skin. Okay, there's going to be people who are going to comment and try to take us down, but much like Bobby Mack's speech last week about rallying the troops for the Yankees, we got to stick together. Okay, but I want to say we got a comment. Our first comment on YouTube, Kenneth Naylor, right?
Kenneth who?
Oh, Kenny. Yeah.
You know him?
No.
Okay. This is what Kenny has to say about us. It's not that bad, but I just want to get your take on this. I get the Big Papi hate. I really do. Sucks seeing a guy that killed you on the regular in the Hall of Fame, while a guy that won multiple MVPs and pinstripes and propelled you to your last World Series win can't seem to get in. Crying emoji.
Yeah, well, it's all steroids, so that's the reason. And Big Papi's a fraud too, dude. So
Kenny, but
thanks
Kenny, thanks for listening, though. That's what I have to say.
Kenneth, that's kind of hurtful though, because we've never campaigned for the guy that won the 2 MVPs and helped us win in 2009. We never campaigned for him. He's not likable. Angry Jay loves him, but Angry Jay takes a firm stance on steroids, but he loves Clemens and A-Rod.
They helped us win. I didn't say they should be in the Hall of Fame.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Should they be in the Hall of Fame?
This is what I'm
No,
talking.
I said no.
So you'll take guys that shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because it's unethical if they help us win.
Guys, this is what I'm saying. We have to stick,
guy's angry over
stick
here.
together.
Yeah, well, they were all doing
Kenny's
it.
tearing us
That's what I'm
apart.
saying.
See, this is what Kenny wants. All right? This is what Kenny wants,
He's
and
trying
he's
to
getting.
divide and conquer.
No, Kenny, thanks for listening. Listen,
Kenny's
we're
starting his own podcast.
Kenny's
Tearing us
stirring the
apart.
pot. Kenny's
Listen,
stirring the pot.
99.9% of the feedback we're getting is off the charts positive. Am I right?
Except Kenny.
No
Except for
more.
Kenny.
You're right,
Okay.
though. You're right, though. I can't even leave the house anymore.
I know. It's kind of nice, but you know how people feel when you're constantly surrounded. You can't live your life.
Yeah, they put pommel horses up on the cul-de-sac down to let people down here. I can't. What's going on? I can't even watch the game, listen to the game in peace on the radio this spring.
And I'm feeling 2 sponsors next week.
Really? Skygazer and who?
Skygazer.
Oh, well, this last segment brought
This
to you
last
by
segment brought to you
Skygazer.
by Goodfellas.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to Loddy and Max Sports on the Sack. As always, Loddy, Angry Jay, the commish. We really missed the Don Father tonight. We really did. LODMAC_Yanks. Guys, get involved. We're out there. We're making noise. We're telling you what we think, what we feel. We're never going to stop with the Yanks stuff. We took it off the air a little bit tonight. A lot more basketball coming up. Football starting to really heat up. November 9th, 2022. Go Rutgers. Go Big Blue. Not Michigan, UConn. And we'll see everybody next week.
How about those Jets?
J-E-T.
Jets. Good night, everybody.